What's up, y'all? Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to another video. If you are new here, I will go ahead and apologize now. This is not my normal videos that I make or want to make, but this is not going to be a fun one. So for everyone, grab a popcorn, grab a seat. Things could get a little bit spicy. Alright, so I'm going to try to get through this video as calmly as possible. I'm going to try not to rant. I'm going to try not to use any kind of foul language. But just know that on the inside, I am raging. So, a little bit of a backstory if you're new here and you're just joining us. This is my Evolution 9. I owned this car for 7 years or so. I sold it, hated it. Later on, about 6 years later, I tracked it back down by the VIN number and we bought it back. The car was blown up. It was in a shop in Ohio. We figured, hey, the car's been sitting there. It's already there at the shop. Do what you gotta do, take care of it, and we'll get it back. And so we bought a brand new block from MAP, stage 2, all that good stuff. We let them put it in, etc., etc. We got the car back. We've been restoring it ever since. And so I've been going through this car, every bolt I've been touching pretty much. And so along the way, if you've been following along, you may have heard me talk about there's been some bolts missing. There's been things where they shouldn't be. I've found bolts in my subframe that were just laying there that have been dropped or whatever. Who knows? But I have been talking about it for a while about how it just seemed like shoddy work. It didn't seem like it was done very well. It didn't seem like they cared at all. But there's been several examples over the last year and a half or more during this project where I've been like, damn, that does not look good. Yeah, so we fast forward a little bit, working on the motor. I pulled the motor out of the car. We painted the engine bay. We did a bunch of other things. We're restoring as much as we can. We went through, got new alternators, new water pipes, new thermostats, new everything, just working on the motor a little bit. For a while, to fill you in a little bit more, there was a broken exhaust stud on the head that I could not, for the life of me, get it off. Don't know why. It was just in there. It was stuck in there. I tried torches. I bought a heat induction gun. I tried everything. And so I was like, I didn't want to do this, but I'm going to have to remove this head and send it off to get this exhaust stud out. So after tossing that idea around for a little while, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take it off. I'll send it off. We'll get the exhaust stud out. We'll have them look over the head just to be sure of everything and go from there. So we took the head off. As you can see, we have the little baggie over the motor. Took the head off, sent it to MAP to have them get the stud out for one, and two, to just inspect it, just see what was going on, just to make sure everything was good to go, because I am not a mechanic. I don't know what to look for. I work on dirt bikes occasionally over the years, but I don't do motors on cars. And so I know what to look for on like what's like, holy crap, that looks bad. But as far as like seeing little nuances, I don't know. So send it to them for that kind of work. Yeah, let's fast forward a little bit more. So a couple of days ago now, MAP contacts me and they're like, hey, not so good news. So the car was there, the engine had like blown. There was a hole, like it blew up. And so we're like, hey, the head should be inspected. It's like, of course, there's a big detonation. Should have that looked at and inspected. It's a brand new block. I want to make sure everything's good, blah, blah, blah. So this shop, I'm getting mad just thinking about it. This shop charged me to have that head sent off and inspected at a shop they have in the area up there, whatever. Again, I'm 900 miles away, so I don't know what they're doing. I'm assuming they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but this thing was never inspected. This thing was never looked at. You'd have to had your eyes shut to not see some of the stuff they talked about in this email. And so, yeah, let me just read you the email that MAP sent back to me. Heavy detonation. Damage to all 4 chambers and quench areas. Previously resurfaced, which I knew that head had been built already. So the resurfacing part was like, yeah, that makes sense. But heavy detonation. Heavy scoring in cam caps, journals from apparent bearing contamination. Rocker arms and lifters plugged with apparent bearing contamination. Broken exhaust stud, of course. Scored camshafts. Looks like it has had a very hard life and is questionable if it could be repaired to our standards. Bearing material still in the block from the first time. Nothing about that head was looked at or inspected. It was plugged with material from before. So, essentially, I am out a cylinder head, which is incredibly frustrating because they're hard to find. They're not easy to come by. But I will say, before I made this video, I have already found a head. Luckily, a shop in Minnesota, B&M, they had one there, had a couple there. Evo 9 heads, they were built by MAP. They were stage 1 stuff, which is what I was having done there anyway. And so we picked up one of those and it's on its way, but there's more to this story. Upon talking to the guys at MAP, they said, based on the amount of contamination and bearing material that was in the head, it almost 100% got down into the block. So you know what that means? The block is essentially f***ed up as well. So not only did they lie to me, charge me money to have it inspected, and do none of the work, they have now cost me a new block. Brand new. Like, it has 500 miles on it. We did the break-in miles, that was it. So we have to continue tearing down this motor the best we can, and send it back to MAP and let them look at it and go over it and inspect it. And they've been super awesome during this whole process, working with me, being understanding of all this crap, and just working with me. And we're gonna get the thing looked at, we're gonna go through some things, and we're gonna get it built back up to a stage 2 again. This whole thing with the car, finding the bolts that are missing, finding the extra bolts in the subframe, finding things that are not where they're supposed to be, etc., etc., etc. I have kept my mouth shut about all that because I'm like, you know what? It's not even, like, it's whatever. We're here now, we're fixing things, we're putting bolts back in, we're putting new bolts in. It's whatever. It's pretty shoddy work, but you know what? Whatever. I will keep my mouth shut. But this is just a little bit of a step above and over the line. And so I felt like I needed to make this video, this portion of the video, talking about this, because this would have blown my motor. Had I not had so much trouble with that exhaust stud, and had we not taken the head off and sent it in, I would have definitely put the motor back in the car, never taken the head off. I did not want to do that. I did no plans of that. So the motor would have gone back in the car. It was essentially a time bomb because of all that material in there. And so a year down the road, who knows how long it would have gotten, but all that material that was in there would have blown the motor. And then I would have thought it was me, because I'm in here messing with this stuff. I'm like taking the motor out, doing all this stuff with it. I would have thought it was something that I done, and I'd blame myself for that. And so who knows what kind of damage it could have caused then, to the freshly painted engine bay, to all that kind of stuff. Just like all the work we've been doing for 2 years could have been done. Yeah, so over the last couple days, I have been going over my options on what I can do to take action against this shop, which unfortunately is not much. It is my word against his, essentially, even though I have all this example and proof and all that kind of stuff. It wouldn't matter anyway. It would cost me more in legal fees to do anything about it. And, you know, in the end, he wouldn't even show up probably and just stiff me anyway. So I think that's the part that makes me the most frustrated, is he can't be touched, and I think he knows that. And I think a lot of shops know that. And so, yeah, it's unfortunate that that's like that, and that's how the industry is sometimes. I know I'm not the only one that has this kind of story. And I know there are a lot of shitty shops out there in the world that just lie and take advantage of people and all that kind of stuff. And it's just, it's unfortunate. And, you know, most people are not going to get their car back from the shop, bring it home, and take it apart bolt by bolt and go through everything and find this kind of stuff. They're just not, because one, they need the car and they have to use it. Two, they go to the shop to get it fixed because they don't know. And they go there to get you to fix it, or the shop to fix it, and then they're going to use it, they're going to drive it and all that kind of stuff. And so say for instance a year goes by and the engine blows again, and they go back to the shop and they're like, oh my God, like I just put this engine in last year, like why is this happening, blah, blah, blah. And the shop goes, well, I don't know. I mean, when it left us, it ran great. I mean, all of us here are certified mechanics and we do top-notch work here and just blah, 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 all this crap. And then they turn it on you, and it's kind of like, it's hard to tell what you've done over the last year, you know, whatever. It's like, you know, these cars, they can be pretty finicky if you don't know what you're doing, like blah, blah, blah. And it's just, it's unfortunate. And so choose your shops wisely. Do your due diligence and find shops that actually care about their name and the quality of their work and all that kind of stuff. It can be hard, I understand that, but it will save you a lot of headache in the end. And so, I mean, the shop is called Quick Rev. They did all the shitty work, and it's just unfortunate that they very clearly did not give a damn about the quality of the work they're putting out and all that. They just wanted the car out of the shop and out of their hair, and it's very apparent. Maybe I'm the only one that had that kind of experience, but let me tell you, it has been an experience. So moving forward, we need to remove the oil pan, get all this stuff off of the block, get it boxed up and sent off, and it is going to set us back months, because they are MAP is 8 to 12 weeks out on block work and stuff like that. And so yeah, I was so excited to get it done. You know, we were right there. We were getting everything back onto the car and getting it square, and being able to drive this thing this summer. But that has obviously not going to happen now. It is what it is. We got to do what we got to do. And I'd rather do it now and take the steps. There's no reason to cut corners now. We've been on this thing for so long, and we're making it as good as we can, and this will just make it that much better. So is it frustrating? Yeah. Is it infuriating? Yeah. We will just do what we got to do, get it done when we get it done. And yeah, I appreciate you guys sticking around through all this. I know this has been a very, very long process based on YouTube standards, but we're doing what we can. I'm one guy in a garage, and yeah, doing all we can. So with all of that being said, let's get back into a more positive mind space, and let's just start. We'll do this today. We'll take off the oil pan, and we'll see what we find. Let's go on an adventure, shall we? All right, first we'll go ahead and get off this oil cooler that's just hanging out here. Has been hanging out here for quite a while, this guy. We'll go ahead and get that off of there first, get it out of the way, and then we can move on from that. Damn, there we go. Whew. Get that out of there. Got my little rag down. I hope that's enough. I hope there's no, like, there shouldn't be a bunch of oil coming out of this thing, but I already have the filter off, so it should be fine. Now we got one more line. Oh, there's oil. I lied. And it missed the rag. God. So the line still has oil in it. Duh! Just didn't think it would come out like that. Anyway, we'll wait. Don't worry, take your time. Take your time. Next, whoops, next. This fellow. Oh, there we go. Haha! I'm gonna hang on to that. Oh, I need a friggin'. Oh, here comes more oil. Hang on. Oh, come on. You're so close. Come out. You're killing me, Smalls. There's no way it's still threaded into there. I think it's just spinning on something. There we go. Okay. Whoops. All right, we'll let that drain out so I don't just sit it in the floor and get oil everywhere like I may have or may have not already. All right, here goes nothing, I suppose. Let's take off this oil line for the turb ski. Get that out of there. I put this on upside down a long time ago to keep this hole plugged up, because get this, I didn't want to get anything into the hole for the oil pan. Yeah, a lot of good that did. That one wasn't even tight. That's good. I'm doing it this way without turning the motor upside down. That one wasn't even tight either. Love it. I'm doing it upside down this way, so I don't know, just in case there isn't a bunch of shit in the block. This won't, if there most likely is in the bottom of this oil pan, it won't like run it down into the block that way. So I don't know what I'm trying to do here, but I'm just trying to keep it as less of an issue as I can. I think that's all of the nuts. Yeah, okay, it should be ready to come off of this thing. I don't really know how to get it to separate. I think I may have a wedge or something maybe to get in there, but they put an absolute ass load of RTV and stuff onto here. Can I get you between there? Hello? Can I get you betwixt something? I need you to come off of the motor. Well, fart. So I'm getting a new oil pan anyways because the shop said they had to do some work to this one anyway because there was so much material from the motor in it. And so I don't trust it, so I'm using a mallet to help beat this thing off of here. I don't really care about denting it, so yeah. Whoop. All right, here we go. We're making some progress. Just gotta run this little wedge around, get into there and cut through some of that RTV. Yeah. There she comes. Just a fucking walking down the street. Okay. Please hold. I'm gonna take off my watch. Don't want to get oil all over that thing. That would be annoying. Probably could have just taken out the studs that this oil pan uses. But we're here now, so whatever. Let's just try to pull it. There we go. Okay. And we're free, I think. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I just don't trust it. All right, so I'm not sure if you can tell or not, but there's some stuff in there, some kind of like little bits and things, but I don't know if that's normal or it's not what I expected, honestly. But like I said, I don't trust it, so we're gonna send the engine off to MAP. We've already gone this far. I'd rather have them go through it, be 100% in my mind that everything is good to go. And yeah, I've never seen the inside of one of these oil pans, so I'm not sure if this is old or how it's supposed to be, but he did say that they had to like cut some things in the oil pan, like weld it back because of all the metal and stuff that was in there. So maybe that's what that is. I'm not sure, but either way, yeah, new oil pan, sending this thing off. Yeah, so with all that being said, this is, needless to say, not the video that I wanted to make. This is a big setback. We were almost there. So sorry you guys got to deal with some more Evo content over the next few months. And so, like I said, I'm just one guy in a garage that gets maybe like 2 days a week on a good week to work on his car. And so we're doing what we can. We'll do what we can, and we'll get it back in no time, and we'll be rolling soon. But yeah, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it very much. As always, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about the process, the progress. And if you have any questions, put those down there as well. We're glad to help much as I can, chat, whatever, and I will see you next time. Bye.